prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
You know, I'm not going to tell you what we have done. We're just going to go out there and we're going to continue to show you. We've made leaps and bounds since the spring, and we're going to continue to take leaps and bounds. So that's a goal of ours, and, you know, we're dead set on proving that. Forget talking about it.
Welcome to the Talkin Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We've got some quarterback information for today. As everybody probably already knows, Brian Maurer has officially entered his name into the transfer portal. A Tennessee quarterback has been named to the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm preseason watch list. And we've also got the inside scoop on who is taking reps at QB1 during practice. But as always, guys, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. If you would so kindly press that thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Come on in. We're just three Tennessee fans that love to get on here and talk a little ball with you guys. We're not experts or insiders. We are fans just like you. Go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop new content. But let's jump into it. I've got an article I'm going to share up here about the quarterback, Tennessee quarterback added to Johnny Unitas Awards preseason watch list. And when we talk about this, it's not necessarily who you would think it would be. Quarterback Hendon Hooker has been named to the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm watch list. And if you're asking, Boogie, what exactly is the Golden Arm Award? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Dad was always a leader, an innovator. Being a great player, it's not always about statistics. This award is about the quality of the person, their character, morals, values that Johnny Unitas upheld during his career, both on and off the field. Character, leadership, athletic ability, sportsmanship, teamwork, and a desire to win. These are some of the traits that Johnny Unitas brought to the table during practice and at every game. These are the qualities that we judge those who will share in his legacy. Being a part of this fraternity means that we believe you have what it takes to go into the world bettering yourself and those around you. Living out these qualities for which the award stands, it is now time to watch those who stand at the precipice ready to grasp a taste of greatness.
So there you have it. The article here says, as each Tennessee quarterback works to catch the attention of the new coaching staff, one in particular has recently caught the attention of a national selection committee. And look, you guys know I'm on record. When Hendon Hooker transferred to Tennessee, and I did a little research, and then the more I saw the way he carries himself, the way he presents himself, he does seem like a natural leader, but he's one of those kind of silent type leaders. He doesn't seem like a very vocal, in-your-face type of guy. But I do like Hendon Hooker. The article goes on to say the Golden Arm Award preseason watch list reveal was on Thursday with Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker in the group. Hooker transferred from Virginia Tech to Tennessee after the 2020 season. However, he came to Knoxville early enough to participate in spring training camp. And again, going back to spring, you guys talk about who I, kind of backed in this quarterback race. I thought Hendon Hooker had an opportunity to win the job until Josh Heupel went and got Joe Milton. I just felt like every report I read, all the film that we had access to up until the orange and white game, I thought Hendon Hooker was that guy. Thought he struggled a little in the orange and white game, but you can't put, everything into one spring scrimmage. You got to look at the entire body of work. Says the last five Johnny Unitas, Golden Arm Award winners have been Mac Jones from Alabama, Joe Burrow from LSU, Gardner Minshew, Washington State, Mason Rudolph, and Deshaun Watson. Good company there. Good company in that group of winners. Said Hooker played in 8 games during the shortened 2020 season for Virginia Tech, threw for 1,300 yards and dropped in 9 touchdowns. But in 2021, Hooker moved to Tennessee for a fresh start. Let's talk a little bit about this quarterback competition as it kind of goes into it here at the end of the article. Tennessee quarterback battle got a little smaller on Thursday afternoon as quarterback Brian Maurer did announce his decision to leave Tennessee and enter the transfer portal. And that's something about, Brian Maurer's got to do what Brian Maurer's got to do. He's got to take care of himself. I think Brian Maurer has a lot of issues that need to be addressed, and I wish him well. But when you talk about Hendon Hooker and his character and who he is as a person, Hendon Hooker is not going anywhere. Hendon Hooker is going to go through this season and compete. And although we can go ahead and get into the reps thing now, it's been all but confirmed. Brent Hubbs over at VolQuest said this morning that all signs indicate that Joe Milton has moved forward. He is taking all of the first team reps, and then Hendon Hooker and Harrison Bailey are split behind him. I wouldn't be surprised if they do release a depth chart and announce Joe Milton as the starter. I would expect him to be QB1, and I bet you will get a Hendon Hooker, Harrison Bailey, QB2A, QB2B. And nobody should be surprised by this, guys. We've been talking about it for so long. When guys, it's one thing if you want to put it on the media and say the media doesn't know what they're talking about. The media still has contacts. But what I look at is when a VFL like Eric Ainge, a VFL like Jason Swain, and then more recently, Kyler Kirbyson, when those guys are attending practice and seeing the full practice from start to finish, they're not seeing just the media periods. They're seeing the entire practice. When those guys are coming out and they're talking about Joe Milton and what he brings to the table, when they're talking about the reps that he's taking, what he's doing, the fact that he is QB1, that's what I buy into. That's why I bring that information, because I have they're not sources. They're just media outlets, but they are reliable, and that's why I go to those people. But it does sound like Joe Milton has been all but confirmed as the starting quarterback. The article goes on to say, now with exactly 2 weeks remaining until Tennessee's opener against Bowling Green, the Vols QB battle is down to 3. Tennessee QB Hendon Hooker's selection to the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award preseason watch list is the first in his Tennessee career. Congratulations to Hendon Hooker. Again, his off-the-field stuff, well-deserved. But when we're talking about on the field of play, it's going to be Joe Milton. And, a lot of you guys don't have the confidence in Joe Milton. I have some confidence. We'll see how it plays out. I sat down and watched some film on Joe yesterday from last season. And a lot of people talk about his accuracy. And we talked some about him being injured, but there was a specific moment where I was doing some research today. I watched that Minnesota game. That was the opener. Looked really good, really good. 15 of 22, 225 yards and a touchdown. Had 52 yards rushing. I really like what he does in the run game. And he's not a Josh Dobbs elusive type guy, but he's a guy that, they ran a lot of quarterback power with. They ran a little bit of read option with, which keeps you honest as a defense, especially when you look at what Josh Heupel wants to do. Josh Heupel is going to spread you out wide. Those splits are so far out. They're going to open up the field. When you have a quarterback out there that gives you a true potential to run the read option and keep you honest. And I know, when we talk about Harrison Bailey, I feel like he does have good pocket presence. He does hold on to the ball a little bit too long, but I don't think he gives you a legitimate threat to run the read option. And that's just another thing that you're going to have to keep your eye on in this Josh Heupel offense. It's one more thing to watch for. His second game of the season, played against Michigan State. They lost 27-24. Milton threw for 300 yards in that game. Also ran for 59 yards. But that next game is where things started to change. That game against Indiana, the third game of the season, is where Joe Milton started to lose it. But if you look at his right hand in the film of that Indiana game, that's when he started to wear the wrap on his throwing hand, on his right thumb. That's when Joe Milton began to battle an injury. And he played through the rest of the season with a thumb injury that we have seen has since been repaired in the offseason. So take it for what it's worth. Take it for what say it's an excuse, call it what you will, but the reality of the situation is Joe Milton was not 100% going through that season. Now, does Joe Milton work out? I don't know. We're going to find out. But I think he is going to be the one to trot out there on the field against Bowling Green. I think Hendon Hooker is going to be right on his heels. But I think for us as a football team, as a football fan base, we got to get behind Joe Milton, because if Joe Milton does not succeed, we're in trouble. If Josh Heupel has to pull the trigger and go to Hendon Hooker or go to Harrison Bailey, it's because we've lost a game that we shouldn't have lost. It's because probably lost that Pitt game, because I don't think Bowling Green's going to be a problem. Tennessee's favored by 30-some points. That's not going to be a problem. Tennessee's going to take care of business. You're probably going to see all three quarterbacks in that game. But when you roll into that Pitt game, if Josh Heupel has to pull the trigger and go with Hendon Hooker or go with Harrison Bailey, and somebody in the comment section that's such a Harrison Bailey fan can come in here and say, I told you he was the way. Yeah, well, that means they've probably lost to that Pitt team. We got to get behind Joe Milton. We got to hope Joe Milton succeeds. The upside, the sky is the limit. But we'll see how it plays out. Just a short little video. Don't get upset and say, Boogie, another quarterback video. This is a bonus video. I've got another video planned for later today, but I've got to do a little work on it, got to do some editing, and I will get that ready, and hopefully it will be up this afternoon. So don't be upset with the quarterback video. Just smash that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts, as always. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The song